future governments will follow suit and increase the measurements that are required.
Marama Davidson.
I must add my thoughts to part two, picking up on the discussion in this part so far on the floor, and particularly the importance of the measures, and absolutely tautoko Aupeto William Seal's emphasis on how important it absolutely is to measure income, absolutely important. And I was reminded of speaking to a constituent food bank worker in Palmerston North just last night. They do offer, to illustrate the point of incomes, they do offer budgeting advice, but she said very, very clearly, these families do not need budgeting advice, they need more income. And so I was really wanting to pick up that, of course, part two, right from clauses 9 through to, I think, at least clauses 20, is very specific and takes a varied number of income measures, particularly around disposable household income and certain percentages that children and families may fall into at various parts of the year. And I absolutely welcome that, because we know that income is important. And I wanted to move into, with Madam Chair's permission, as other members have highlighted, some of the ideologies around those measures I think are really important to debate, and that those measures are in a context. No legislation in this House is in an isolated context. All the legislation that we debate, getting down into the parts of each bill, are within a context of a whole other work program and other bills that we debate here in this House. We cannot debate we cannot talk about child wellbeing, setting targets and measures of child wellbeing that pick up on income and disposable household levels without also understanding what are the systemic factors that bring groups and communities to certain income levels, and picking up on exactly the systemic bias and discrimination that is inherent and has long been for at least decades, particularly to Māori and Pacific children of their families. We can take any number of examples, which is why, as David Seymour wanted to go further outside the measurement of the incomes in this part of the bill, he went to a different place. He went to getting into the agency of families inside the homes, actually. I'd prefer us to trust a little bit more the agency of families with incomes inside their own homes. I actually want us to step outside that, actually, and go to the systemic injustices that have an absolute impact on how child wellbeing manifests itself. We can take any number of discrimination in who is targeted and charged with cannabis, for example. Some of those are young people, some of those are parents of these very children who we're trying to keep well. Automatically, you can think of the fact that non-Māori and Māori young men smoke cannabis at the same rate, but it is Māori young men who are more disproportionately apprehended and criminalised. I can see the Madam Chair's face. So coming back to the bill, what that means then is that I also agree with David Seymour that we need to go wider than incomes, but let's go to the systemic injustice causes of what brings children to well-being or not, and simply wanted to stand and make that point very clear. Thank you, Madam Chair.
David Seymour.
Thank you very much.